Hi there, this is another revision clip. This time we're going to focus on the human resources topic of recruitment. It's really important that you understand that within business management we view recruitment only as the process of the business attracting people to apply for the job. We'll go on in another clip to look at selection. So it's really important to remember this topic does not focus at all on interviews, CVs, anything like that. We're just going to focus on the steps inside of the business. And there are really 5 steps within the recruitment process. Step number 1 is that the business will actually identify a job vacancy. The business will realise that perhaps an employee is retiring from the organisation, or perhaps the business will identify that there is a need within a department to get some extra staff. Perhaps the department is overworked, or the business has grown and needs more members of staff. And we'll at this point consider whether a business can actually afford a new employee. Though someone might be leaving, perhaps they haven't got the cash to replace them. In step 2, we'll look at conducting what we call a job analysis. At this point, the business will actually consider the job and what it would involve. They look at all of the tasks that they believe should be involved in the job, and they really carefully consider perhaps we have to give some of these tasks to someone else, maybe it's not relevant any longer, or they might decide when we hire someone new we need to get through some extra bits and pieces. And so perhaps they might add some more responsibilities to the task. In step 3, we create the first of our documents that we will allow possible candidates to see. We'll create the first one as a job description. Now, a job description is a very detailed document, usually made available online. And in this document we'll list all of the tasks and the responsibilities that the person will be expected to do in the job. This will help people work out whether or not this is a job they would like to do. The document will also very importantly state the hours of work each week, the salary or the hourly rate for the employee. It might give details about the pension scheme, who their manager will be, and if they are going to be a manager, how many members of staff they will be responsible for. After we've created this, we use the job description to create a second document. This time we create a person specification. And this is our 4th step in the recruitment process. A person specification is a document that lists all of the qualities and all of the qualifications we would expect of the perfect person for the job. It will also list perhaps the work experience someone has to have before they apply. This document will allow possible applicants to think about whether or not they will be able to be successful in this job, or whether it's worth their time filling in the application form. The business usually divides the parts of the person specification into 2 categories: essential criteria and desirable criteria. Essential criteria is all of the things that the ideal candidate must have. There is no question of maybe or perhaps. They must, for example, have higher business or higher administration. Perhaps they must have a driving license for the job. The desirable criteria is what makes the candidate stand out. Perhaps it would be desirable if a candidate were to have a driving license, or it would be desirable if they had done this job before. When we move on to our 5th stage, we then bring together our 2 documents we've created and we create an advertisement for the job. We make the advert that the public will see to attract them. And the business also at this point has to make a really big decision. Will we advertise this job internally, or will we advertise it externally, or perhaps a mixture of both? The business will consider some places like the job centre, the company website, a recruitment agency as some external sources. Or perhaps internally, word of mouth, maybe through an appraisal with a manager, or word of mouth through colleagues speaking on their breaks or within their team. What you have to go away and do now, having thought about these 5 steps, is really think a bit more carefully at the advertising stage. You'll be asked in particular at hire to discuss the good points, the advantages and or disadvantages of internal and external recruitment.